Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, DarkStory. There's two main categories to this game: Hero Story, DarkStory. Hero Story is generally more popular, but I just prefer DarkStory entirely. There's a precise section here. Oh, shame. So those two jumps onto there, as well as the jump onto there, which is really precise, and then a shot to shoot all four of the leftmost crates. It's about 1.5 seconds faster than just taking the normal route there to jump over straight to the elevator. It's crazy difficult though. Like, Iron Gate is a very easy level, it's just that one thing that's really difficult in it. Iron Gate also has two auto-scrollers, this is the first. When you have the hover upgrade, which you can get later on, then you can just hover down these sections. We'll be doing the level in just under 2 minutes, well, about 2 minutes. You can do the level in about 1 minute with the upgrade. It does involve a clip out of bounds though, which apparently is really dumb. I've never tried it. If you want to do it inbounds, it's about 1 minute 5 seconds. The TAS, amazingly, can get about 1 minute without hovering. Okay. Actually wasn't supposed to hit that checkpoint there, I was supposed to jump over it. So I could then get speed shoes by hitting that checkpoint. I'd just wait by the checkpoint, run through it, get speed shoes, and then be able to do this section faster. But it's kind of a tight jump over there, I suppose. I've not really got an excuse to be failing it, but I failed it. Speed shoes saves probably like 1.5 seconds. I could be jumping over these, over the gap there before, like prematurely before the ledge comes out, but I'm just easing into the run. Don't really want to do that right now. So this should be about a 2:02, maybe a 2:01. That was quite fast, probably a 2:01. Yeah, solid time. So at the end here, we're going to be getting about an E rank, I would imagine. In Sonic Adventure 2, the total score you get there is 16,000. Oh, I got a C rank. Decides what rank you get at the end of a level. There is a side category where you just do like DarkStory all A ranks or whatever, all A ranks. You actually need to get all A ranks to beat this game 100%. We're not going to be focusing on that in this round. We're just going to be beating the game as fast as we can. Although the A rank categories are all pretty interesting, trying to balance speed and points. This boss is pretty easy. You just hit him while he's still on the ground. There is a faster strike you can do where you hit him in the air. So like while we was up in the air, then you would do that. So like from the air, you would jump onto that. Wow, that was weird, Shadow. Onto that box and then hit a hot shot. It saves about 1.5 seconds. I actually can't remember how much it saves. About 2 seconds, I think. I can't remember. This is the first treasure hunting stage. We're supposed to get in 3 pieces of the Master Emerald. They are randomly placed throughout the level. Oh, I saw a 3-piece. I was about to reset there because the piece that we got was in the large oasis, which is where this turtle will take us. Generally, if you get a piece that's in this oasis... Oh, wow, I didn't mean to do that. And you don't see a free piece, you should just restart, because that re-rolls the RNG. What is this piece? Oh, this is... What is this? Okay, that was crazy RNG. I wish I didn't take 3 visits on the turtle rather than 1. 30 is probably about average for Dry Lagoon, so to make that mistake which lost, I don't know, ballpark like 7 seconds, and to get a 29 is really crazy. Dry Lagoon's actually a pretty volatile stage for randomness. Those stages are about 100 pieces in each stage, like 40 to 35 piece 1s and 2s, and then like 30 to 35 piece 3s. At Sand Ocean, this is like top 2 hardest stages in the level. Big reset point, we're going to be going for a trick here called Sand Walking. That's a 3-frame jump, I'll play that a lot. Nice. So yeah, that's frame perfect. You've got to land on the quicksand on the same frame that your bullet hits the balloon that's off in the distance. And so yeah, we're just walking over now to the Mystic Melody platform. It's intended to get to the Mystic Melody platform, but just not like this. You're supposed to have the hover, except we don't have the hover yet. So this is what we're doing. And the reason we're getting it is so we can play the Mystic Melody at this portal that's here, and the portal takes us pretty far into the level. And overall it saves time, even though we're literally 40 seconds in and we're still in the starting area, this will save time. So yeah, this we're going to be catching is the zero cycle, this turntable at the end. Oh, damn it. I knew I jumped too early there. So now we actually can't do sand walking anymore. Wow, 3-frame jump. Oh, please restart, there we go. So yeah, that jump's quite tight. Unfortunately I failed it. I'm on about the one at the end, not this one, but this one was also tight. Looks like we're going to be viewing Sand Ocean, both the sand walking route and the normal route. Get up. We can still make first cycle at this pace. Maybe not anymore. So yeah, we comfortably had zero cycle earlier. Unfortunately screwed up. Look at the final. Wow, we're getting second cycle here for sure. What did we screw up? Well, the final jump before hitting the checkpoint for zero cycle. And then this is going really poorly. I really hope I can get second cycle. I'm not sure what we're doing anymore. The Sand Ocean's not going to. This Sand Ocean was going to plan, it really isn't anymore. Yeah, normally this level just takes casuals quite a long time just because there's a lot of platforming. It's DarkStory is generally the harder. Like, casually it was designed to be just a harder hero story. And there's a lot of focus on Eggman stages at the start. What pace is this? I don't often do sand walking without, sorry, Sand Ocean without sand walking. Wow, I missed Chatbox jump. So I'm not sure what please shoot it, what cycle I'm on. It's not anything good, I can tell you that. Yeah, this is unfortunate, but it's okay. So here's the turnstile we're at again, much later than what we were before. I'm not going to be making the jump that I made last time where I died, but that's not because I'm scared, that's because on some cycles, because the platform you jump to is also on a cycle, sometimes the gap is just too large, and so you physically can't make the jump. So, and just because I literally never had that cycle. Okay, we got this. Okay, that makes up for it, that's really cool. And yeah, I'm really not familiar with that cycle, so it would have been a guess whether we can make it or not, and I don't feel like doing that, but we got the second capsule jump there at the end, which is really swaggy. And let's just not focus on the time. So yeah, DarkStory is very reset heavy in the early game. Unfortunately, just the early game of DarkStory is terrible. Mid game, sick, IMO. Late game is pretty sick too. Well, I'll get onto the late game when we get there. There's a lot of skips nowadays that have been discovered. So Radical Highway, Shadow's first stage, really sick level. Try and get a good time. Yeah, go for it. Nice. Oops. Just heads up, you're really loud in the mic, in the headphones. So yeah, that was a mock bounce that we did there. To get over to the platform with the rocket. That saves 2 seconds, I think. I can't remember actually. I haven't done without mock bouncing quite a while. We just missed that cycle. That's unfortunate. There's a spring inside that box. Normally I pause to make sure I'm going to land exactly on the rocket because we time by IGT in this game, and so pausing is of no hindrance to you. And so I do that just to make sure. RTA doesn't really make a difference, does it? We got air there. That's unfortunate. If you stand on this railing to the left here, you can actually jump all the way across to after this loop that we're about to go through. Yikes. Yeah, and you'll end up like there. And that saves a second. Normally I'd be spin dashing around one of the set of speed pads there, but because of the way I did the loop skip, decided that wasn't a great idea, considering there's a giant abyss to the right of you. A 149, that's, so my personal best is a 140. 149 is a great time, really. Well, for a marathon. Maybe if I was doing PB attempts, I wouldn't be very happy with it. But 149 is a showcase. I got, well, especially the mock bounce was the most important thing to show there. What you're basically doing is you're just spin dash hovering into that railing head on. I think it's just because of the type of collision the railing is that is allowed to happen. It's called a mock bounce because there's things in this game called super bounces, which you're probably familiar with at this point. And it's just a mock super bounce essentially, because of how much height you get. You're not actually doing any bouncing at all though. Shame. So yeah, I kill those enemies just because they got free pieces. They could have a free piece in them. Which a free piece is a piece 2 or 3 that the radar can't pick up because you're still on piece 1. And we're in green, so we're going to kill ourselves so we can go back to red, which is where we spawn, and what do you know? There's a piece in there. Like 99% of the time. What is this? What?!
I got it.
What the? Who knew that?
How was that? Perfect?
I've never seen a piece 2 and piece 3 be that close in quarters. In the room off to the right of spawn, I know that you can get a piece in there and then semi-dark Eggman like we just got. I've never had under the tail into semi-dark Eggman. I've never seen that. That might be. Wow, what the hell? I know that we have full lists because I know science has been done to find out what every single possible piece combination is. Just because the way that pieces are generated is the piece 1 is selected randomly, the piece 2, well, all the lists of piece 2s in the level, the distance from the piece 1 is calculated, the closest half is just forgotten about, and then the remainder, one of them is picked at random. And then for piece 3, you've got the line that goes between the first 2 pieces, and then for each third piece it's calculated how far away that piece is from any point on that line. The closest half gets rid of. Please, there we go. And then it picks randomly out of the remaining half. So it's really, really amazing that that one got picked there. That's terrible. That's never going to make it. So yeah, what I did there was a pause hover. Basically, if you hover right after you jump, then you'll get an upwards boost, in short. So you can... Normally you can't like jump 2 crates high, but you can with a hover jump. And then we use pauses just to make them more accurate, like so we can reduce the amount of frames between the 2 A presses by pause buffering by going like A pause and then however many frames and then pause A. That's a shame. I was meant to follow the ring route, so you have 80 to 89 rings going through that checkpoint as to get speed shoes. So that final stretch is about a second faster. So yeah, speed shoes is done quite a lot in Eggman stages. Would you believe it's done more in Eggman than Shadow? It's in no Shadow stages. It's in 3 of the 5 Eggman stages, 4 if you're not doing sand walking. Yeah, when I didn't do sand walking, I probably should have had speed shoes there, but that Sand Ocean, there was more pertinent things to look at. Like not dying 5 times. Here's Big the Cat. Big the Cat wasn't on GameCube version. Like, I played GameCube version growing up, I didn't get any other version until I was like 18 or something. And so, when I heard people talk about Big the Cat and talking about 2, because of course it was on the Dreamcast version, and then when I was 15 in 2012 when the HD versions came out and Big the Cat was in there. I never understood what people were on about when they said all the places Big the Cat is in SA2. Because this was my favourite game. And I'd played this so much and I thought, I've never seen a Big the Cat anywhere, what are you on about? And then when I got the game on 360 and PC, I realised. I think the only stage that Big is not in is Wild Canyon, to my knowledge, for whatever reason. I only discovered where he was in Final Chase a few weeks ago. It's right after the final checkpoint and the first gravity tube after there. I won't show that off because it's slow, but that was a shock. I was just messing around trying to get consistent at the final part after Final Chase, at the end of Final Chase, and I noticed Big the Cat was there and it gave me a fright. So yeah, we're supposed to get an upgrade here, so we can shoot the steel containers so that, well, I didn't need to say so that there, but we don't need it. You do not need that to beat the game. You can just hover around, like those containers, you can do the hovers to get over the containers there at the very start. You just don't need it. If you want to 100% this game, you do need it. There's a lot of places where there's no way to get around sets of steel containers. I believe that's same for Rouge, because she has an upgrade that destroys steel containers. I'm not very fluent with the 180 emblem speedrun, which is the 100% of this game. I have done many Dark A ranks runs. I'm second place on that leaderboard. I'm second place on the DarkStory leaderboard too, might as well. I'll be talking about that later. In Cosmic Wall there's a very long auto-scroller, so I'll just talk about recent history of Sonic Adventure 2 then. So I know a lot about DarkStory. I don't really know too much about the missions 2, 3, 4, 5, which is every level has a mission 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god, I made it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You only do the mission once in DarkStory. That was Satellite Jump, the pause over that I did just then. The Satellite has a crazy large hitbox, and that's a good time. And yeah, you can pause over onto there just about. It's one of the tightest pause overs in DarkStory. Depending on your strats, it could be the toughest. And I didn't expect to make it on there. I think you have about 3 frames leeway to make it on there. A perfect pause is do A and pause on the same frame, and then however many frames, and then pause and A on the frame after that.
Eggman, you won't get away with this.
So this is the Tails fight. If you've played Hero Story a lot, you might recognise that this fight is right at the start of Hero Story. This is the first thing that Tails does. But over in DarkStory, this is in the middle of the story, and Eggman's already done 4 of his 5 stages, which is kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy the imbalance of the chronology of Sonic Adventure 2, with how there was loads of DarkStory stages to start with, and then loads of Hero Story, but it's because like DarkStory being evil and such, and then Hero Story is trying to fix everything. So when you normally enter this stage, the blue safes behind us are open. Only one set of safes can be opened at one time. So whenever you enter the stage, normally it's supposed to always be blue. But as a developer oversight, we believe, on the PC version, and on the PC version only, if you were to set the safes and then re-enter the stage, those safes are still set, even if you go between files. So before this, I was setting a flag. Well, I went into security call on a different save file. Oops. Set saves to be yellow. I know you can get onto this platform without climbing up the wall by doing a really good spiral upper and glide reset, but I wasn't able to do it then. And so yeah, just called yellow safe strats. I think I haven't actually looked into it myself. I've just heard that yellow safes are the best, and I've done a lot of security hall, and I very much enjoy playing with just yellow safes. But I know a lot of people like to swap between them or just go for blue. So I suppose it's not definitive which is better, but if you ask me, it's a yellow. And if it's blue, then you don't have to constantly go into security hall before you do runs. You can probably imagine the ILs of hunting stages are terrible because it's just an RNG fest. But the way we really gauge how dropped my hover, how good someone is at a treasure hunting stage is we get them to do it 20 times if they're on Knuckles, or 25 times if they're Rouge. And so it's just called like a security hall X25 speedrun. You can get 25 times, and I recently took world record in that using yellow safe strats, and then it was promptly beaten like 2 days later by Tommy, which is definitely the best treasure hunter in the community, by like a minute. And I think he had blue safes on the whole time. I haven't watched it actually. This is White Jungle. Shadow's second stage. You can like stick to the ground immediately there, which saves a second. It's unfortunate that we didn't get it. I love this stage. This stage got me into speedrunning. Shame. Yeah, I discovered speedrunning in late 2015, and to start with, I IL'd White Jungle for like, well, I don't know how long, but I just watched a lot of speedruns, did some Sunny Adventure too, like learn how to spin dash jump, how to super bounce. Oh wow, touch the thing. That's a good plan. You can jump onto the weight there, and then jump up it straight away rather than going under the barrier and hitting the spring. Saves half a second. You can skip that loop there. The spin dash, sorry, the speed pad can throw you off to the side, except it's not random, but it's like you are lucky if you get it. You may wonder why there's a timer in the top right of the screen counting down from 10 minutes. The law of what's happening going on right now in the game, is the island that we're on is going to blow up, and Shadow needs to save Rouge. Yikes, what is going on? And he's just got 10 minutes to get to the security hole to save Rouge, because she's locked in. Only I was just supposed to homing attack there, I didn't realise I must have done that a frame late. Or 39, whatever. There's not many outstanding tricks like mock bounce that there is in White Jungle. In White Jungle, frequently it's not a very fun stage to IL just because, well, at a top level, because there are a lot of sections where you could just kind of seemingly randomly lose half a second, gain half a second. I know what those areas are and I know kind of what to do, but I'll just look up at the time and think, oh, I just lost half a second. It's quite annoying. But I love White Jungle, and after learning that, I went on to learn the rest of DarkStory in summer 2016.
I think you're the fake hedgehog around here.
This is a fake cutscene anyway. I know a lot of people love this. It's funny, I don't feel the same way about this cutscene that most other people do, because at the start of Hero Story, well, this is at the start of Hero Story, so it's like a big laugh really. But it's kind of late into DarkStory, and so I just oh my god, what? I meant to homing attack him. I've not died on this fight in a very, 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 very long time. I meant to homing attack him there, and he just fell off.
You won't be able to just attack him. Try something to lower his defenses.
This fight is just freestyling when, like, it all goes to pot. My god. That never happened, don't tell anyone.
No time to hang out with the likes of you.
But yeah, as I was saying, that cutscene is so late into Dark, so it's just like got such a strong connection to I really need to focus here. This is a serious moment. So I just think that cutscene is quite serious, and it's daft really that I have that connection. So yeah, not many people like the driving stages, and I find Route to 80 very offensive. It's a nice break. And you can definitely just lose time. And my best is a 242. I know you can get like a 240, like story style. Average is like a 245, I would say. You can totally just screw this up. You can totally fall off the map. You're an idiot if you do so, but you can do it. Also, this is very dumb if you want to practice, because the first time you enter this level, after booting the game up, everything's fine. Every other time you enter the level, for some reason the game doesn't read your A input for like half a second or something, like at the start of the level. So like you'll drive for a little bit, then you won't accelerate because the game's not reading your A input. And then you'll get going again. It loses like 0.85 seconds or something. It's really weird. I don't believe that happens on GameCube, although that's definitely not like don't take my word as gospel there. But I know that aisles of this game are typically done on GameCube, so I'm led to believe. If you want to see a really good aisle of this, ID Geek 121 is the karting god of the world, just like Tommy is the hunting god. Wow, I didn't mean to do that. So yeah, I was snaking for the majority of this level just because, wow, I was inside that car. Your speed is uncapped. Or, well, no, I don't believe it's uncapped. It's just got a higher speed cap, one of the two, than driving normally. But it's like the speed cap is much higher, if there's a speed cap. And so you just basically want to snake all the time. And so speed from going downhill is conserved, speed from boost is conserved. Speed from going uphill obviously is what is going on. Okay, everything's fine, I guess. So yeah, going uphill loses speed, so you want to try to use boosts just after you've gone up hills, like as soon as you're off the hill. And you want to use a boost right at this end stretch as well, just because of how long it is. It can literally lose like 4 seconds or something daft if you don't have a boost at the end of it, even if you're snaking. And so you're going higher than the normal speed cap, and then, but then you don't use another boost, it can lose 4 seconds. It's crazy. 250 is pretty terrible. We did spin out, so it's justified. 26 minutes into the run. So as I said, actually, I don't believe I said. Oh no, I totally did in Radical Highway. How we timed by IGT. The world record for this category is 23 minutes and 37 seconds in IGT. The RTA for it, I believe, was 34:30. My personal best RTA is 35:06. Obviously, we won't be getting that after this Sand Ocean and other events. But sub 40 is typically what you would expect. But 45 in case things go wrong. And I've done this at one other marathon before and things went wrong. I got a 43 RTA, so the 45 estimate is necessary. This is a really good camera. Thank you, developers. Cool. Oh, okay, don't read my spin dash. Whatever. So yeah, that trick that we did at the end of the rail, I actually kind of suck at that. It's I don't know how many frames it is, but I just suck at those kind of tricks where you just got a handful of frames to do it. There are actually many frames that you can get an awesome off there, but you want to do it right at the tip if you want to make it to the upper platform like I did. And then you have to delay when you do the spin dash after that, which I didn't do. Boss here called Egg Golem. Sean. Okay, we're at a good angle here. Also, I appreciate I said Sean there. That was a mix of shame and dawn. Okay, so I want to. Oh wait, no, I don't want to. So that was a pretty bad goal, unfortunately, a 21. You can totally get a 15 there. Typically, you see a lot of runners do a pretty terrible strat there, and it makes me angry. It means that they can get like a 17 or 18 at an absolute maximum. It's really strange. I don't know why this strat became popularized. I have no idea why I held both camera triggers there either. That was a terrible piece. That was right at the top. Cool. 3-piece. Tactical reset. Okay. The hint was backwards, so I actually couldn't remember what it said. So yeah, normally what you would do is you would skip this upgrade, which you can totally do by grabbing the rocket instead of what we did, where we just glided to the planet. But we want to go to the capsule planet, so it is faster to take to get the upgrade and take that rocket. What is this? A 39. What's this RNG pin? Why have I had a 39 mad space and a 35? Was it? Headquarters. This would be a gold split for me. My gold split is a 40. My best ever is a 34. What? Well, the orange is helping me out get underestimate. I'll give it that.
Long time no see,
That was crazy.
treasure hunter. Did you find my emerald?
We're going to be doing a lot of mashing in this fight, just A and B, A and B, A and B. I go overhand for this fight, just for that reason. You don't actually need to mash like this if you want to watch something like Dracodan does for this fight, or the inverse of this fight, where you fight Rouge. Wow, okay then. Dracodan is typically the boss's guy of the community. And I know he's tried to popularise just only doing a few jump and drill drives here, timed so that you always hit Knuckles as soon as he comes out of his iframes. But I don't think I want to change. I just would like to mash. Where I can lose up to half a second really with bad mashing, or poorly timed mashing, I suppose. But I'm fine with that. That jump at the start there was only discovered to be faster like 2 months ago, saves like a tenth. Okay, so Cosmic Wall. We're gonna have a big long auto scroller here, and it's not the one you think it is. Okay, let's go. Shame. Oh wow. There is a kill plane just to the left of you there. I don't believe I hit that. Oh, I suppose I should say I can't believe I hit that. I haven't hit that in a long time. I was actually... I think I started hovering quite late, and so I was cautious because I thought I would be hitting a kill plane later on due to how low I was. And so I was rushing trying to do that there, and so I just touched the kill plane at the left before it had finished. So that was my own fault. I should just hover earlier this time with my mistakes. No problem this time. So yeah, there's a kill plane just to our left, and there is collision to the right of us, but there's just a little gap there. It was found like November last year, amazingly. And we're now going to just hover all the way to the end. I need to make another angle change at about 105, so I'll just wait for that to come up. And that will do. So now we're going to hold this for another 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Amazingly enough. So I'll just talk about recent events for Sonic Adventure 2. The DarkStory World Record was 24:34 by Dage for quite a long time. It was like 9 months. Just after this skip came out, he got that record. And I managed to take the record a month ago with a 24:27. My RG was better than his, but I just made no major mistakes really in all the execution stages. I was really happy to take the record, and 3 hours later, Dage took it back, and he was on pace behind mine and behind his PB going into Final Chase. But a new skip has been found just a few months ago in Final Chase, called Final Chase Skip. There already was a few skips in Final Chase, except this one is just on drugs. You've probably heard of Carpetless in Mario 64. It's quite reminiscent of that, how it's right at the end of the level. Saves I know this saves a minute 10, I don't know how much Carpetless saves, I think it's about a minute. Well, actually no, don't take my word at all for that. But it's just a large amount of time is the comparison here, and it's ridiculously difficult. Dage managed to pull it off, I think the day after it came out, with save states. I can't remember how long it took him to actually do it without save states. I think it was a couple of days. A month later I got it for the first time about a month ago, 2 months ago, and since then I've been labbing it a lot because I love to lab things in this game, and I made a tutorial for it. If you're interested in the intricacies of the trick, please check it out on my YouTube channel. It's 21 minutes long, amazingly, because there's just so many parts to it. It's definitely, arguably, the hardest trick in the game that people actually do. They're like RTA viable, just because there's so many parts to it. And he managed to pull it off second try. Ooh, Doing a lot of things in Cosmic Wall I haven't done in a long time here. Normally I miss this camera trigger. So yeah, he managed to beat my record by 50 seconds by getting it second try, and he had pretty bad RNG. And that's where the record stands today, 23:37. Like 2 days later, I almost beat it. I would have beaten it by 7 seconds with a second try FC skip run of my own. But I just touched the final kill plane, unfortunately. And then since then I've been doing DarkStory A ranks. I only came back to DarkStory earlier this week. Well, there's not much differences. You just do Eggman and Shadow stages differently. So I was just warming up back to that to come for this. And I'll be continuing to do world record attempts after this. But it's just ridiculously crazy. It's terrible that it's in a full game run, honestly. Since my... I'm dead. Yep. There's a minute for this. I got it all wrong. I got the first part correct, and then you're supposed to double back on yourself, and I screwed that up. I did it again, although didn't get punished for it. I'm like, okay. Don't lock onto tails then, Eggman. You do you. Whatever. That never happened. What was I on about? Oh yeah, since my tutorial, someone did it that day with save states. And then another great IL of this game, JW13, managed to do it just a few days ago with save states and then without. But Final Chase, I'm not going to be going for FC skip, no. But Final Chase, without this skip, is still got the highest skill ceiling of any level in Dark, so here I go. Oh, what the hell? Shadow, no! Well, that didn't mean to happen. Ah! Oh, that's a shame. Stick to it, man. Yeah, gravity tubes kind of suck. This can't be news to you, though. This is like 10 seconds slower than a really good Final Chase, just things have gone wrong here. But the most important thing you can never do in Final Chase is not die. This is mini skip, by the way. You've got slanted gravity from standing on the roof there, and as long as you're staying above a speed threshold, you will always keep that gravity. So just stay above the speed threshold, easy. Just to go to a later part of the level. I have no idea how much time that skip saves, it's like 10 seconds I've heard. It's not that hard really. Come on, dude. This is tube skip. This skip is really cool. I just really struggled to get on the edge there for whatever reason. And the Final Chase done 2 minutes 10. What you can get like a 155 if you don't screw up. My best is a 150, like a low 154. I was meaning to get a 153, and then I learned FC skip. With FC skip you can get a 43. Just to show how much time it saves. You should totally check out the current DarkStory world record or any RTA IL of FC skip because it's just incredible. Anyway, time's coming up on the fifth hit of Sonic. Time. Nice. Sub 40, let's go. It's much better than last time. Right. So obviously, in just forgetting all the things that went wrong, this run was sick, so I'm really happy about it. Obviously, that's sarcastic. So yeah, Sanders was terrible, but this run has just been so much better than last time I was here. I'm really happy about it. I was able to kind of have this character arc, I guess. Check out SA2, it's the most popular Sonic speedrunning game, and in the community we're doing a lot of ILs at the moment. There's an IL competition that we've got, just plug in that, it's great. Just pick one IL every week, it's a weekly. All you need is a picture of evidence to submit, so it's excellent, open to everyone. And I'm done. Thank you for having me.